my 80k subscriber Q&A, one of you guys asked me how do I think the story of Naruto would have turned out if Sasuke joined Madara, and I love the idea so much that I put all the other what ifs I've been planning on hold just to take a look at this scenario. So just how different would the story of Naruto be if Sasuke joined Madara during the 4th Great Ninja War? How would the Naruto story change? Would things end up for better or would they end up for worse? Well, in today's video, I'm gonna look at just that scenario. So like usual, in order for this scenario to occur, we first have to establish a trigger point where this change can happen. Scenario 1 is after hearing Hashirama's speech, Sasuke decides not to join on the side of the alliance. Scenario 2 is when Sasuke is flat out asked by Madara to join him. Scenario 3 is after Madara regains one of his Rinnegan. Honestly, scenario 1 sounds like it would be the most fun, but I don't see that happening. However, if this video can hit 1,000 likes, I'll make what if Sasuke chose to destroy Konoha after speaking to Hashirama Senju. So if this can hit 1,000 likes, I'll have that what if out. Now, in my opinion, scenario 3 is the most likely to happen. In this scenario, instead of Madara immediately moving to strike Sasuke with a mortal wound, Madara would press the sword of Sasuke right up to his heart and ask him one final time, would he consider joining him? However, before Sasuke could speak, Madara would tell Sasuke to hear him out, and Madara would place Sasuke under a genjutsu. It's in this moment that a major change would occur. Sasuke fell to the talk no jutsu of Hashirama, which is strong as hell, but let's not forget, Madara isn't too shabby when it comes to using his words to sway the hearts of men either. Speaking to Sasuke in a genjutsu under his own control, Madara would explain to Sasuke his version of the events that Hashirama told him. Madara would explain to him what he read on the Uchiha tablet and how it was his goal to bring about peace to a world that's steeped in war. The very same world that took Sasuke's brother Itachi from him. Madara would tell Sasuke how true his fears ended up being, that Konoha would be the death of the Uchiha clan and how it was under Konoha's orders that an Uchiha was forced to slaughter his own brethren. Combining his words with genjutsu illusions, Madara would quickly sway Sasuke back to where he was before he was speaking with the first Hokage. It was during this time that Hashirama even acknowledged that Sasuke was quickly on his way to becoming the next Madara and that his words might not be able to win him over. So this isn't too crazy to think that Madara could swing Sasuke back to where he was originally. After hearing Madara's words, Sasuke would agree to join Madara. It's at this point that the story takes a major shift. Sasuke will watch as Madara attained the power of the Ten Tails and transformed his body. Madara would then take Sasuke with him to collect his other Rinnegan. It would be at this point that Zetsu would steal the QB chakra that Minato intended to seal inside of Naruto, and Obito would still take control of Zetsu. Seeing that Madara had now warped Sasuke's mind, just as Madara had once done the same to him, Obito would attempt to speak sense into Sasuke very briefly before focusing his attention back onto Madara. Madara would still give his speech to Obito that Obito is the ideal of Madara Uchiha and how Sasuke now embodies that same spirit. Obito would still go on to rip out part of the Biju chakra that was sealed away inside of Madara, and he and Kakashi would still use the same tactic to get Obito into his Kami dimension in order to seal away the remaining Biju chakra inside of Naruto. Where the drastic change occurs is the arrival of Guy as well as 2 other new parties. In the original timeline, Kabuto tracked Sasuke's location, and I believe he still would have done as much, which would have led him to this location. Karin would have sent Sasuke standing next to Madara's chakra, which would have intrigued Orochimaru, which would mean that Team Taka would arrive on the battlefield as well. Seeing how dire the situation is, Guy would briefly use the inner gates to fight Madara, and after being saved by Rock Lee, Guy would choose to open his 8th gate. Madara would warn Sasuke to stay back, stating that the power of the 8th gate is too much for Sasuke to overcome. Instead, as Guy charged Madara, Sasuke would turn his eyes to Rock Lee, the armless Minato, Kakashi, and Gaara. With Team Taka at his side, Sasuke would charge the other combatants. Kabuto would step in to hold off Orochimaru, leading to an epic battle of Kabuto versus Orochimaru, while Guy unleashed his massive power on Madara, causing shockwaves in the ground to tremble. Jugo would enter into his transformed state, charging at Minato, which would then prompt Rock Lee to enter the 6th gate to join Minato's side. Suigetsu would charge forward and attempt and fail to fight Gaara. This would leave Sasuke fighting a very chakra-drained Kakashi. Master would fight against Student in a very emotional battle. Kunai against Sword. Sasuke would battle Kakashi, blocking out the words of his sensei as Kakashi tried to talk Sasuke away from his path of vengeance. Watching Kakashi whip out all of the 1000 jutsu that he knows, and Sasuke being able to counter them would be amazing to see. Eventually, after hearing Kakashi state that Itachi wouldn't have wanted this for Sasuke, Sasuke would finally snap. Almost instantaneously, Sasuke would whip out a Susanoo arm and grab hold of Kakashi. Just as Kakashi began to gather chakra to use his Kamui, Sasuke would use the overwhelming difference in the chakra to crush Kakashi to death. Kakashi's dead body would drop to the ground, which would then have Rock Lee shouting in a rage before he rushes towards Sasuke. While the monstrous battles ensued all around the battlefield, Naruto would be speaking to the Sage of Six Paths. Hagoromo was still going to give Naruto his Sage of Six Paths chakra. Naruto would re-enter the battlefield in time to see Guy on his deathbed and Sasuke's perfect Susanoo standing over the dead bodies of Rock Lee, Kakashi, Kabuto, and Gar. Meanwhile, just as Sakura demanded that Obito teleport them back to the battlefield so she can confront Sasuke, Obito will flat out refuse. After saving Guy from the 8th Gate's effect, Naruto will be faced with a very massive challenge. Fighting off both Six Paths Madara and EMS Sasuke would prove to be a very difficult task, not to mention the members of Team Taka and Orochimaru with Zetsu absorbed, all fighting on the battlefield. While Naruto fought off one Rinnegan Madara and used Sage of Six Paths shadow clones to dominate the other combatants, Obito would tell Sakura that she needed to destroy Madara's Rinnegan in order to prevent Madara from achieving full power. However, after being pressured by Naruto, Madara was still going to snatch Kakashi's Sharingan, this time ripping it from Kakashi's dead body and teleporting to the Kamui dimension. Obito would quickly teleport Sakura out of harm's way, just as he did originally, but Madara would now emerge with both of his Rinnegan intact. With Zetsu controlling Obito's body, there would be yet another issue for Naruto to overcome. However, as Naruto stared down Madara, Sakura would give a passionate plea to Sasuke, confessing her love for him. With Sasuke's heart blackened to this point and twisted by Madara's words, he wouldn't put on her a genjutsu like he did last time. Instead, Sasuke would move immediately to kill her. However, just as his sword was about to pierce her skull, Naruto would appear at Sakura's side and grab Sasuke's sword with his bare hand. Naruto would immediately create a chakra arm and backhand Sasuke, sending him flying across the battlefield. Naruto would then tell Sakura that after he defeats Madara, that he will help her bring Sasuke back to his senses. With tears in her eyes, Sakura would stare at Sasuke with a stronger resolve than she did during the events of the 5 Kage summit. Knowing that the Sasuke she once loved is now dead, Sakura will prepare for battle. At this point, upon seeing Sakura's body fall to the ground, missing an entire head of cherry blossom colored hair, Naruto would scream out in rage. Sasuke would find himself being manhandled by one of Naruto's shadow clones, as a long and drawn out battle would eventually cause Madara to decide to create the diversion that would be used to cast the infinite Tsukuyomi. As the meteors fell to the ground, Madara would activate the jutsu. In volume 70 of the Naruto manga, Sasuke warned Naruto not to relieve the protection of his Rinnegan Ant Perfect Susanoo, which leads me to believe that without any type of protection, that Naruto would fall victim to the infinite Tsukuyomi. Because Sasuke wouldn't be there with his Rinnegan, Sasuke would have found himself caught in the Genjutsu, and Madara would laugh as Sasuke is swept up into the Genjutsu because things had gone according to plan. Now, before someone says that Madara and let this happen, I want you guys to go back to the manga chapter where Madara asked Sasuke to join him. After Sasuke declined, Madara stated that either way, Sasuke's time in this world was short, which leads me to believe that even if Sasuke chose to give Madara his Sharingan until Madara was able to get his Rinnegan, that eventually Madara would have betrayed him. It would be at this point that Zetsu would betray Madara and Kaguya would be reborn. But that's it for this edition of Naruto What If. But I want to know from you guys, what do you guys think about a potential fight between Sakura with the Byakugo seal and the strength that comes from that fighting against EMS Sasuke? And do you think the EMS Sasuke will be able to take out Kakashi and Rock Lee? But as always guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all into the end. Have an awesome day guys.